Picture this. Netflix just opened their first ever restaurant in Las Vegas, celebrating all their biggest hits with themed dishes. But there's one glaring omission that's got the internet talking. Can you guess who got completely left off the menu? What's up, everyone? So Netflix just did something absolutely wild. They opened a pop-up restaurant in Vegas, and let me tell you, the drama is serving. We're talking Bridgerton tea services, selling sunset salads, and Stranger Things wings. But here's the tea that's got everyone shook. Meghan Markle's American Riviera Orchard brand? Completely MEA. Not even a breadcrumb of recognition. And honestly, the shade is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Let's break this down because this Netflix restaurant situation is actually genius marketing. They're taking their biggest streaming successes and turning them into actual food experiences. We're talking Bridgerton-themed afternoon tea, because of course. A selling sunset Caesar salad probably costs more than most people's rent. Stranger Things wings, upside-down flavor, anyone. But here's where it gets juicy. A Reddit user who stumbled across this place while heading to the casino reported that the restaurant was absolutely packed with tributes to Netflix's success stories. Every major hit got representation, except for one very notable Duchess. Now, you'd think with Meghan's Netflix deal and her shiny new lifestyle brand, she'd have at least gotten a mention, right? Maybe a royal flush mocktail? A Montecito Gardens salad? Heck, even a jam is my jam dessert special? But nope. Zilch. Nada. It's like Netflix collectively hit the unfollow button on the Duchess of Sussex. And let's be real, this isn't just an oversight. This is strategic silence, and it's loud. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Someone in the actual restaurant industry, someone who designs real menus for real establishments, completely roasted this Netflix pop-up for being overpriced and trying too hard. We're talking $38 for lettuce cups and $25 for an omelette. At those prices, you'd think they could afford to throw in some pretentious tea blend or artisanal honey, right? But even in this bougie, overpriced menu, there wasn't room for Meghan's brand. The official Netflix tea spot? That went to Bridgerton. And honestly, that's got to sting. But wait, it gets better. Remember that vendor producing Meghan's American Riviera Orchard tea? Plot twist, they were already working with Netflix way before Meghan ever knocked on their door. Think about that for a second. Netflix had access to the same supplier, saw Meghan's brand, and basically said, thanks, but we'll stick with what's actually successful. That's not just a business decision, that's a statement. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Meghan did have that Netflix documentary where she shared her side of the royal story. It got attention, sure, but apparently not the kind that translates to restaurant menu real estate. Even with all that media buzz, all those headlines, and all that controversy, it wasn't enough to earn her a spot alongside Bridgerton and Stranger Things. And that tells us everything we need to know about how Netflix really views this partnership. Here's the thing, restaurant partnerships and themed menus aren't just fun marketing stunts. They're indicators of what a company considers their most valuable intellectual property. When Netflix chose what to feature in their first ever restaurant, they were essentially creating a greatest hits compilation. And Meghan didn't make the cut. This isn't about personal feelings or royal drama. This is pure business. Netflix is backing the content that actually drives engagement, subscriptions, and cultural conversations. Despite all her attempts to build a wellness and lifestyle empire, despite the California garden aesthetic and the artisanal everything, Meghan couldn't manifest even a side dish mention. No Montecito Harvest Bowl. No Royal Garden blend. Not even a California Dreaming appetizer. And in an industry where branding is everything, that absence speaks volumes. What we're seeing here looks a lot like Netflix quietly distancing themselves from what might become a brand liability. No promotional support, no honorary mentions, not even a thanks for trying gesture. It's giving we'll honor our contract, but we're not going all in on this partnership energy. And honestly, from a business perspective, that makes sense. Netflix has limited marketing real estate, and they're choosing to invest it in proven winners.